Hey, come on in, come on in. I am excited today, y'all. Welcome, 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 everybody. I am super, super excited. I'm excited because it is Women's Month. I just call it Women's Month. I know they say international. It's like I'm just saying it's Women's Month. So I get a chance to talk about Women's Month and I get a chance to talk about government certifications and contracts. So if you guys already don't know, my name is Michelle Lenore and I help to connect large businesses, Fortune 500 companies with small companies so they can get certified. So with those certifications that the large companies can go for those big contracts. So it's just a win-win. It's everybody. It's just like win, 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 win. And today I got JoAnn, who is an expert on 8A, y'all. Okay. So if y'all not sure what 8A is, hold on. You're going to learn today. So, JoAnn, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for inviting me. I am delighted to be here. Yes, I love 8A. I have a passion for 8A. And so I'm a small business advocate with over 30 plus years of federal contracting experience working with the U.S. Small Business Administration. I started the Braxton Group, and I am consulting in the area of federal contracting, helping small businesses to win contracts primarily through the socioeconomic categories, which 8A is one of them. And so I'm delighted to be here. I'm looking forward to the conversation and I'm ready to talk about it.
Absolutely. So cool. So cool. So if you guys have any questions about the 8A, I won't say all the other alphabets, then go ahead and put your questions in. This is really important. AA is just one of many minority certifications. And the purpose of these certifications is to help with smaller businesses. And if you guys ever heard of asides, set asides are contracts that are set aside for veteran, woman owned small businesses, minorities. We can keep, going on and on, but you need to have those certifications for the set aside. And the purpose of the set aside, of course, is that you are competing against a same size or close to a same size business. So you don't want to compete against a Microsoft. You don't want to compete against a Google. That's huge, right? So they set aside these different contracts. Again, so you are competing, so you can. It gives you an opportunity to win. You know what I'm saying? You want to win, and then of course with the 8A that JoAnn's going to talk about, we need the Fortune 500 companies. We need these large companies to make the 8A a success. So I know somebody is saying, because I was talking to somebody yesterday, one of my clients. She was like, yeah, I heard you say, I sort of got a grasp on WOSB. I sort of got a grasp on MBE, but you keep talking about AA. I was like, jump on the live tomorrow. I got an expert. So what is the 8A?
Yeah. And the 8A is a little different in terms of the way it was designed and regulation than the other contracting programs, because they are contracting programs. The 8A program is a business development program. It is a physical section in the Small Business Act that established the 8A business development program. The SBA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, manages and governs the 8A program. It's aimed, as you mentioned, to level the contracting playing field for small businesses that are socially and economically disadvantaged. And so, socially disadvantaged represents ethnicity and race, and there are a variety of groups that fit into that designation. And then, of course, economically disadvantaged speaks to the economics of that individual, which includes a net worth, total income, and assets. And so it's a business development program. aim to assist those small businesses that are socially and economically disadvantaged gain access to federal contracting opportunities.
That's really, really good. Somebody be like, what? Right? Like, what does that mean? So, getting a certification, one of the things, I had mentioned it before, it puts you in the same or a similar category with the build of another company. But it's like, what is the advantages as first as a small business for getting this 8A? I know the process is a long process, but it's worth it. So if you could talk about how long it takes, the advantages, how long it takes to get certified, or the estimated amount, and
Yeah.
then get from it.
Yeah. It is, the agency is understaffed, so yes, it does take a long time. And so, and it's worth taking some time to consider whether or not, the business, you as a business owner is, ready for 8A, because, it's a tenured program. It's 9 years, and you want to come into the program ready and positioned to grow and scale once you get there. And so, but some of the advantages are, access to sole source contracts. And as you mentioned, it also limits the pool of who can compete on certain contract opportunities. So there are a variety of paths in which the government procures these products and services, Michelle. And so um, set asides is just one path. And then once they set that aside to that designated group, then only those businesses within that designated group can compete or bid on that opportunity. And so that narrows the pool significantly to just a subset of small businesses that can compete for that requirement. And so you have those set asides. 8A also have sole source contracts, which is a direct award without competition. And so that goes up to $4 million. And so that's another huge benefit for those businesses that are in the 8A program. It gives them a competitive edge, and so it also, when we talk about large business, it allows them an opportunity to mentor with those larger businesses that can help them grow and scale in a variety of ways.
No, I love that. So that sole source, I want you to talk more about that. I talk to people about that,
Mhm.
and it's like, how do you get that type of contract? And it's like, how do you prepare for it? So, it's like before you get it, you got to prepare for it. So how do you prepare for something like that?
Yeah. And so, part of the eligibility requirement for the 8A program is something that the SBA calls potential for success. So you come into the program with some experience. It really is not a program for startups.
Mhm.
Folks don't like to hear that, but it isn't, because it's a tenured program. It's 9 years, and you come with some experience with you. And so then you utilize the tools that are out there, and then you also are assigned a business opportunity specialist within the SBA office, and that person is your partner to access to opportunities and how to navigate the federal space. And so there are tools that you can use to query the set aside 8A sole source set asides. And so then you would focus on that as your initial effort is to, because again, the program is limited to 9 years, so that you can take advantage of those sole source contracts ideally within those first 1 to 4, 5 years.
I love that. So one of the complaints that I had gotten from a client, as because I was preparing her WOSB, so
Mhm.
so that's another one. That's another conversation there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
another minority certification. Was that once they had gotten their 8A, that they did not have a large company to mentor them. So even though you got the AA, your time, like you said, you got 9 years, so your time is just ticking. And so where can like the big companies or even the small companies that are going in, how can we help each other as in making sure that the program is successful, that we do have a mentor, that we are prepared to work with a large company?
Yeah, and mentoring is a lot like it is a relationship, and it has the same connotation as marriage. And so you want to kind of make sure that you find a fit that correlates to your business model, to the services you provide. But you can utilize those tools that are out there, and they're free tools that are out there that you can utilize. SAM, you can utilize Federal Procurement Data System, you can utilize uh, forecast to see who these contracts are awarded to. And again, any contract that is over $750,000 mandates that it has a subcontracting component to it. So it has to have a small business subcontracting component to it. And so any contract that is awarded to these large companies or to any value that's over $750,000 require a small business component to it. And so you have to do some research because you have to identify who they are, and then you begin to query and interview and explore their profile and see whether or not it's a good fit, and then reach out.
I love it. So, like right now, like I said, I told, like she's an expert at 8A. So, can you give us an example of a client that you have helped to win a contract within the program, and just the reality of how long that took to connect
Yeah,
to win?
yeah. And so you know and it varies. It really varies on the experience of the business. It does. But there are many success stories within 8A. And so I mentioned when we spoke one time before, I had the pleasure of working with a firm that just recently, and he's graduated. So he's may have graduated from the program maybe 2-3 years at this point. And the hustle and the struggle of working and growing has led him to the point of $27 billion award with his joint venture partner.
Oh,
And
hold
so
on. You said that with a B, right?
with a
Billion.
B, that's with a B. $27 billion, and so yes, that comes with a lot of work. That's not something that you get very quickly and easily. And so he's been doing the work, but the payoff is great, and I like to say that 8A has wings. And so I also wanted to mention that a lot of folks, and then there was a post in LinkedIn that kind of spoke to worldwide technology, which is on the Black Enterprise Top 100 list. WWT, Worldwide Technology, David Stewart, I believe, a black owned business,
Mhm.
is number one. With revenue over $17 billion, that got its start with 8A, and so it's um, a real tool that can help businesses grow and scale. And that just doesn't come quickly and with ease. It comes with consistent effort to kind of do the tedious part that is
Absolutely.
necessary to build and to scale.
Yeah, the great thing about this is, again, it is Women's Month. I'm a woman, woo, and I'm a black woman, woo. Look,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
these are all
yeah,
positives, man, right? And so with that, this even falls under the diversity and
yeah,
inclusion
yeah, yeah,
goals that a lot of Fortune 500 companies have,
yeah, yeah,
so if you are a Fortune 500 company and you are in the supplier diversity department, this is a great conversation to have with your CEO, with your COO, with your diversity, or I know there's chief people diversity officer or chief people officer. These are just programs that again like benefit everybody. So I want to
Mhm.
be
For
clear on that.
sure.
And one of the
Absolutely.
right, it's like one of the benefits, because we are smaller firms, because I'm certified. I've had over 40 minority
Mhm.
certifications, and that's set for another conversation of why did I
Kudos
do
to
it?
you.
Right. It was to show people again that it can be done. It can be done. We can get through
Mhm.
the paperwork and it can be done. So let's get it done so you can get to your money. And it's
Mhm.
just not just the revenue growth for small businesses, it's revenue growth for these large companies and innovation.
Mhm.
It's like we don't have to go through like, okay, so I got to send this to this department, I got to go to this department. So for you, like, what have you seen again within innovation that as a small business, and now we have the backing of the help of the government, or we have the help of a Fortune 500 or large business? Like, again, have you seen accelerate that big
Mhm.
business to
Mhm.
make big money?
Mhm. Yeah, that reminds me of an IT firm that I'm aware of, and so I advise my clients uh, to begin with the end in mind, especially when you start a contract and you're looking to grow and to scale and to partner with these large prime contractors, um, is to approach it with how can you make the process better? How can you improve upon the process? Once you get into that space, um, how can you make that product better? And so a lot of firms kind of create some kind of proprietary improvement that
Mhm.
follows them. And so once they are tracking along those option years within a contract, they are improving, systematically improving the process to where the government becomes, a little dependent on their product or their service. And so not only does that create longevity within the government space, but it also is attracted to those prime contractors, those large prime contractors that are ineligible for the small business pool of dollars, and so when you look at fiscal year 23 with over $600 billion in um, allocated federal dollars, that's a category and a pool of revenue that they are ineligible for. And so by partnering with these small businesses and 8A programs in particular, they become eligible to bid on and be a part of that revenue base. And so I always say small business is big business in the federal space because
Absolutely.
they allocate big dollars to small business, and those big businesses that are outside of that pool have the opportunity to partner with and collaborate and mentor these small businesses. And then it becomes a win-win for both parties. They get access, they get to also help mentor and other businesses to grow and to scale. And then they also get access to uh, opportunities that they would otherwise not have.
I love it. You made a very good point. And I wrote something that was called "Doing Big Business," or no, creating big dollars with small businesses. And you're right. It's like it's huge. So if a big business haven't put small business as part of their strategy, their sales
Mhm,
strategy,
mhm,
they absolutely
mhm,
they have to do it.
mhm,
If you want to continue to grow, again, this helps the surrounding community because you're helping other businesses within the community. This is helping your bottom line. I
mhm,
know with some of my clients, my bigger clients, that if they don't have enough small businesses that are certified, this affects their bonus. So
mhm.
don't let your bonus be affected. Go ahead, you
For
know,
sure.
all right. Go ahead and help these small businesses. And one of the things that love what you were talking about with streamlining. Because I was able to get certified with over 40 certifications, that I had created a streamlining process. And that streamlining process was really important. I was able to get one of my clients certified once the paperwork was submitted, was under 30 days. And again, this is important because the government entity realized, like, okay, I need what she has. So I need to go ahead and get her certified. And, when you guys come to experts like us, that we've been through it, we've seen it, we're like, okay, you need this, 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 and this to move to the next level. Now, granted, I wish I could say that about all my clients, and it is very dependent on the state. It depends on the state. It depends on your industry. It depends on your marital status. It depends on your divorce status. I mean, we can go on and on. And, all of this stuff is dependent. But once you have it in order, it's worth it. So I want
Yeah.
you to, without saying obviously your client name, the one that won the $27 billion, how
Mhm.
many industries did that $27 billion touch? So if it was for, we'll say if it was $27 for an event planner, we know for an event planner, they need food, they need technology, they need security,
Mhm. Mhm.
they need music, they need staff, so me, I just mentioned like
Yeah.
five.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
did you see that this particular contract needed, that this business needed to collaborate with to win such a large contract?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a key point because there is a whole ecosystem associated with any industry, and so his industry primarily, he's a CPA, he's accounting, but when he started, one of the beautiful things about his rise and his start was that he was open to do anything, and so once he got in with an agency that primarily he had a great start with CDC. He's in Georgia, actually. He had a great start with CDC and was certainly doing things that were not his core competencies and that were outside of the box for him. But he would raise his hand to say, okay, what do you need? Or, how can I serve you here? Or what are your pain points here? And so um, was able to build on that relationship, not just seeking out work that is within his core capability, but building on that relationship. And so when escalating up, fast forward to the latest 27 billion award. I'm sure I don't know the details of the contract. I was just thrilled that he reached that level, but I'm sure there are IT related components to any work, because that intersects with all aspects of all industries. But as an accountant, offering financial services, and he does work internationally. He's grown globally through his tenure in the program, and so I just only can imagine that there are a broad variety of ecosystems and complementary kind of services that intersects with that contract.
I
You
love
know,
that.
no,
No,
no, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
You
No,
know,
because I
you
love
know,
the collaboration.
Yeah, because I wanted to also kind of speak to the diversity and inclusion. And so, when you look at the 8A program and all of the subcategories that make up that social disadvantaged group, is over 15 or so groups and subgroups within that. So when you talk about diversity and inclusion, that is the definition, right, of diversity and inclusion. And so, it helps to uplift the the businesses of a broad range of of groups and designations. And so for the large business, it also enhances their corporate social profile. You know, people like to, it's appealing to customers to do business with businesses that values diversity, you know. So that's another component of the whole social corporate social responsibility piece of that.
I love it. See, you talking about corporate responsibility, being a great corporate citizen. I would have to say
Mhm.
a few of the companies that I did work for, that was, they were really, they did a whole lot of pushing on that to make sure that they were this corporate citizen. So if I am a big company, and I am worth billions and I'm worth trillions, and I want to get into this, it's like, what are a few steps that I need to take to, to connect with a Michelle, to connect with the
Mhm.
JoAnn, to connect
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
small business, because you need me just as much as I need you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. And so that's so key, you know, and so the whole benefit and the value is to work with them, to partner with them, to seek us out. And a lot of folks don't know how to do that. And so, I do. There is a resource, a tool that you can use to identify 8A businesses nationwide. You can kind of access their profile, look at their federal what they're doing in the federal space, look at their footprint, see their experience, get some kind of data on who they are and what they're doing, and then connect with them, interview them, reach out to them, and begin the dialogue and the journey toward finding a fit. And so I offer that to your audience. If I can assist large, small, or medium to help identify 8A small businesses, any of the sub economic category businesses that you want to work with, how do you identify them? How do you research them in the federal space to see what they're doing? How do you identify potential mentors? Who's based on the agency that you're targeting? What agency is, what contractor has the most work with that agency? So there's a variety of ways in which to assess the data and then begin to look at it and see um, how to build a profile and then who to interview and potentially connect with.
I love it. You just mentioned, okay, which agency, and everybody like, what? It's just not,
Yeah,
no, it takes research. It's
yeah.
just like, for me, it's just like any other type of contract. Corporate, when you're going to corporate and you're creating this presentation deck.
Mhm.
And when you go into it, you're letting them know, okay, this is what I can do for your department. And then
Exactly.
that same deck, you may be able to use a few of the same things, but when you go to a different department, their need may be different. So I love when you're talking about, do the research. The research is really important.
Key
Again, your client was able to eventually get a $27 billion
award. Yeah,
contract, right? And
that's
with
huge.
that, right,
That's
he was
huge.
awarded that $27 billion. So
Yeah,
again, we have to look at the longevity of it,
yeah,
not, and then even connecting with someone who actually wins such a large contract. So
yeah,
sometimes we're thinking like, oh, I want to be the prime, I want to be the boss of everything. But do you really want to?
yeah,
So if
yeah,
somebody won a $10 million contract, and out of that $10 million contract, they need, 26% of it to go towards a certified minority business, and you're that certified minority business, you do the math. That sounds like a win to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like,
And it's a huge undertaking too, Michelle.
you
It's a
say it
huge
again?
undertaking. It's a huge
Yeah.
undertaking. It comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of responsibility. I mean, it does sound good to say that I've won a $10 million contract. That sounds good, and we strive for that. But that's a heavy lift. That's a heavy lift.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
So I know you had mentioned your services. And I want you to talk again both to the small business and I want you to
Mhm.
talk to the large corporations. Again, what do you offer? Because I know it's continuous. And then if you have something that if you got a special offer, we want to hear about it. What you got
Yeah,
out there?
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for that. And I was thinking about that because, perhaps you know, for large businesses to be able to identify these 8A firms and to sift through them and create some data that can help them make informed decisions as to who to even interview or who to even to consider that might be a fit with their overall business model, their business culture, etc. I'm happy to if I perhaps maybe email me, and for those that mention Michelle's podcast in there, I'll offer a discount, a significant discount to work with. Yeah, helping you to identify these because it's a passion of mine, and I want my ultimate vision really is to kind of uh, be build this consortium where we have a pool and a resource of small businesses that are able to get into this federal space and grow and scale and win through mentorship and through collaboration. So I'm all about that, and I definitely want to help with that. And also the same offer to those small businesses that are looking to identify potential mentors. How to go about doing that? What resource can I use? How can I vet them to see what they're doing in the federal space, as well as to build a profile to see if they are fit with their business and and their strategy and the direction in which they're going. And so, mention Michelle in the um, in the subject line, and I'll offer a great discount for that.
Did y'all hear that? My name carries weight. Don't forget.
Absolutely.
It's like, don't forget. No, one of the things that I'm glad you touched base on both. Again, I want to talk with my large businesses. You may be thinking of new strategies, new ideas. The small business, they have it. Again, we don't have to deal with the red tape. We have the flexibility to try things out easier, faster, quicker because it's just us, or it may be three other team members. Again, we've tried things out. I don't want you guys to sleep on us. And
Mhm, mhm.
because Carolyn said, yeah, that's right. Um, so it's like I want you guys to really think about where do you need to take to the business, in the innovation. Think about R&D, research and development. Bring in a small business. Bring in a small business. Yes, it's great if they 8A, WOSB. We want that. We know that helps with gaining the large contracts that are out there being awarded. But then again, in your supplier diversity portal, are you being strategic about reaching out to these different individuals? And
Yeah.
so somebody like me, somebody like JoAnn, we can help you out with that. When I say I love to talk about government contracts, I love to talk about it because it's all about the win. Me, when it comes to technology, I hand the phone and my laptop to my children. Yeah, fix that. I was like, that's not my gift, right? So even within
Right.
my household, there's a lot of collaboration that goes on within my house. So like, oh, I need you to have access, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The same
yeah,
thing with the businesses. So I want you to reach out to JoAnn. She has a lot to say. She has things out there. I've been out to her website. Check her out. Check out what she is doing. I need everybody to level up. This is an
yeah,
opportunity for
yeah,
everyone. This is an opportunity. This is Women's Month. Find a woman-owned, certified woman-owned business under the AA, under the women-owned small business, under the MBE. Yes, I threw the acronyms out there like. But if you want to know more about what those acronyms mean, check out my website. I'm all about the win. I need people to win. All right, that's
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a competitive advantage. It's a tool. Use it. And federal agencies has goals that they have to meet based on these certifications, and so leverage that tool. As you say, level up with it and use it to grow. Use it to
Absolutely.
grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
JoAnn, thank you so much. I know you could talk about this just as much as I can because guys, when we met, I was like, okay, and then this, that, and the other, so when it's talking
Yeah.
about this and leveling up and how it can
Yeah.
help so many people across so many industries, I love having those conversations because we were made for purpose. What is our purpose? And are we walking and moving into that purpose? And if you haven't
Yeah.
figured it out, just keep moving because you're
Yeah.
gonna come across it.
Yeah.
Have other people like us in your life to keep moving. I was telling JoAnn, I have a business coach, I have a business mentor. We all need help. So don't think that you don't need help.
Yeah.
Don't think
For
you need help.
sure.
So thank you so much,
I do
JoAnn. Thank
too. I do too. Thank you, Michelle. Kudos to you. Keep doing your thing, ma'am. And I'm a resource available to you. However, I can assist. I'd love to do so.
Thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
guys, if you haven't already, drop your questions in. And you guys have just a super great weekend. I'll talk with you later.
Thank you.